This is how I'm going to do it. I understand the risks, so just... Good morning. It is a nice day out here. Sun's shining. Grass is getting ready to start growing. Bulls have hay. The cows have hay. Everybody's happy. We're going to try to get the oil changed on the four-wheeler. I'm just trying to find a flat place to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the four-wheeler with the tractor just to make it easier on myself. I think that'll work pretty good. And hopefully you can see my guinea friends are back there behind me. Hopefully they don't get too loud. And I'm using a new selfie stick that Jamie bought me. It's pretty cool. It goes out a long way. I think that's out as far as it'll go. It's about 6 foot, roughly. 5 foot, 6 foot, I don't know. It's a ways away. And then we can bring it back in. It's pretty cool. It's Gracie approved. So this is how I'm going to change the oil. Now, yes, it's up on the tractor. Yes, you're not supposed to get under things that are lifted up like that. So before all the safety Steves and Sallys start commenting, I understand this is how I'm going to do it. I understand the risks, so just you deal with it and I'll deal with it. Anyway, this is how you get to the oil dipstick and everything. It just take this off of here, which goes right there, and then the drain plug's under here. There's a CF Moto dealer in West Plains, and that's where I got this from. So this is the oil filter for this machine, and then here is the oil, and it's just 1040 liquid moly. It's for ATV, UTV. It should take 3 quarts if I remember correctly, or just under 3 quarts roughly. So I've got 3, and we're going to change the oil, and then also I'm going to check the air filter, clean it off. I'm pretty sure the air filter is pretty dirty. So I've got everything I need. Should be a 17 millimeter socket for the drain plug underneath, and then 8 millimeter for where the oil filter goes. I'm just going to drain it into this for right now, and then dump this into the main drain pan. I don't have one of those extension ones, which would be better. So I've got everything that I need. Let's get started. Also some rags, just in case. Not that I ever make a mess. No. You can come under here, babe. Or come closer. So right here is where that's at. And so I'm going to loosen that up with 17 millimeter. And then get the pan up there so it doesn't make a mess, hopefully. Well, that's on there. Oh yeah, it needed done. Of course the wind. Why is it that every time I start changing the oil, the wind has to start? Like every time. Scout, go on. Come on. I'm just going to put this back in there temporarily so I can drain this and find that washer. Maybe. Oh, come on now. About to drop the nut or the bolt in there too. All right, so if you're ever changing the oil in a CF Moto, there's a washer that goes on the drain, or on the plug for the drain pan, and mine fell down into here. So I've got to try to fish it out without putting my hands in there. Oh.
Got it.
I should have known better. Guess it depends on what you consider a mess. If used motor oil everywhere is a mess, then I made a mess. If that's not what you consider a mess, then I didn't make one.
Hit your head.
You were like, hit your head, hit your head. I think that's dripped enough. Can I get a fresh rag, please, baby? Sure. My lovely assistant is helping me. And then the plug.
I'm the only one crazy enough to be out here with you.
Nah, you just like me for my body. Thank you. So I think the specs say that this thing is supposed to be done to like 15 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. So it definitely doesn't need to be killed in there. Just get it tight. This is all aluminum, so you definitely don't want to damage that. All right, let's try not to hit my head.
You're good.
So that's the filter, and it goes in that side in. Comes in a little baggie. Trying to keep it away from the microphone. I'm using a microphone for the first time. Jamie bought these before we moved, and then we were moving, and I really never got a chance to use them. So hopefully the quality's good, and I'm not sitting here rubbing on it the whole time.
Wow.
So we got that, and then we've got 3 liters or 1.06 quarts. So I said quarts originally, it's actually liters because it's foreign. It's a foreign brand, so they go by the crazy metric instead of the real person measurement system. Unfortunately, just by design, the oil is right here, or the oil filter, I'm sorry, is right here under these 3 bolts, and there's going to be oil in there, and the only way it leaks. So maybe at some point I'll take this cover off. It looks like it's just held on with 2 bolts to get something under there a little bit better.
Maybe they'll stop wandering.
Maybe. I got them back in eventually, but they came back out and they go.
It was just a bolt there and a bolt down there. Super simple to get off. Excuse me. Just to make it easier, and I stuffed some rags down in here in hopes of catching whatever might fall. And so,
Whatever oil might fall.
yeah, whatever oil might fall. This thing just pulls right off of there. A good opportunity to take a look inside of there. Make sure everything looks good inside of there. Also, good opportunity to take a look at this, which is the cover. You can see there's a rubber gasket right there. Make sure that's in really good shape. Make sure it's good and clean, so there's nothing damaging it. There's some kits that you can buy. Like, there's an outfit out of Tennessee. I can't think of their name. Main Street Cycle. I think they're in Tennessee. They sell an oil change kit for these things. And it comes with a new gasket here, and then also a new washer on the drain plug. I didn't go through them to get this. Like I said, I just went through the local place, and they didn't have anything like that. Or I mean, I'm sure I could have bought it, but it didn't come in like a kit. So I'm going to reuse this this go round, and then next time probably replace them both. I think that would be a good way to do it. Here's the new one. You can see it looks a lot cleaner than the old one. So here's a side by side. It was definitely time to change the oil. And then this just goes in, that side, the big side in, and it presses in just like that. Now, the torque specs on these, you guys, are like 2.5 foot-pounds. So, hence the reason why I'm using a tiny little drive. And you're just going to get it really snugged is all this is going to have to be. So that's all I'm going to tighten it. All right. Obviously, use a funnel. And it should take pretty much... What the heck?
Did it come with a funnel, babe?
Never seen anything like this before.
It came with a funnel.
Look at that.
Wow, that's neat.
I've never, I guess, I don't know, I've never seen one like that. That's cool. Pretty cool. Huh.
So I guess you don't need the funnel.
I don't think so. Let's see. Oh, would you look at that? Well, it kind of leaks though.
Would you want the funnel?
Yeah, I'm going to use the funnel. It leaks up here.
I mean, the idea is good.
Yeah, it is a good idea. I was wondering if maybe there's a hole that the cap popped out or something. I don't know if I like that or not. I guess I could have just read the... There's even a picture. I didn't even have to read. Just had to look at pictures. I couldn't even do that right. Comes out of there terribly slow. Look at that. That's even me squeezing it. Although... Yeah, I'm not a fan of the straw ones. It's a cool idea, but... cool in principle. So it takes like 2.8 something liters. I'm gonna start it a little bit and let it fill it up because it's starting to come out right there. So I'm gonna let that fill the oil pan or the oil filter canister.
Do you want to move the socket?
Yeah, good call. Good call. That thing, I got a hydraulic leak or something. Did you see it? That thing, I was worried it was going to fall off. I didn't realize it was that bad. Until I went around the back and I'm like, man, I hope that thing doesn't come off of there. So right now, I just started it up, let that where the filter goes fill up and start pumping some oil through there. I'm going to check right here. I'm going to lift it and check underneath, make sure that there's no leaks, and then I'm going to check for the oil level. Well, it'll be safer with it running. Oh yeah. No leakies, that's what we like. So now I'm gonna lower it down, probably put it all the way down on the ground. This is our concrete pad, that's why we're doing it down here, because it's a little bit, it's the most level place we've got really. And then check the oil level and add any if I need to. So this is where your dipstick is, and like always, anytime you change the oil, it's always extremely hard to see. And if I remember right, check the oil, you don't screw it in, you just put it in, and then you check, and it looks like we need more. Yeah.
Is that better?
It's more better.
So it takes 2 full. Then.
Well, that was 2 full and then 1 almost all the way.
That's right.
We just were running it to get a little bit more oil flowing and just to make sure that, you know, oil is everywhere where oil needs to be. So a clean rag. Make sure there's no debris on there like that piece of hair. And then you just set it in there up to the threads. You don't thread it in. Yeah, we're good now. And we'll put these back on. So, like I said, it's just a bolt there and a bolt there. This probably would have been easier to do when it was up in the air. Nothing like kneeling on concrete.
Yeah.
So if you look, these two right here slide in right there, and then this one pushes in there. If you try to pull the whole thing off, you'll break these and then it won't be covered. But it's easy to just slide those in like that. That pushes in like that. I'm bleeding again. It's okay. Sweet. So that is the oil change in the CF Moto. Now we'll look at the air filter and everything like that, which is under here. So to get to the battery and all that good stuff, you pull off the back seat, pull off the front seat, and I think this just pulls up. Probably be better if you were on the other side with the camera.
Okay.
So after you take the seat off, there's this cover here, and there's just 2 pops, and then it pulls straight out. So the 2 pins go in there, and then these 2 pins right there and right there go here and here. And this would be the oil or the air filter, I'm sorry. And it's got 2 pop tabs on that side, 2 screws on this side.
Apparently they think that the gray one has something that they might want.
It's tight in there.
Wait, guys, if we're not good, we're next.
Right. Okay. No, I'm just going to clean this one up.
So do you use the thing in a can on that, or?
Yeah. Which really, this is...
It's not too dirty.
No. The filter looks
Real good.
like it's in really good shape too. So you can see, it's in really good shape. The air filter is. This is just the air filter cover. It could probably use a cleaning in before too long, but I feel pretty good about it right now. And it's got a coating of that oil on it already. I'm just going to put this back on, and when it gets a little bit warmer, I'll clean this up with a new one, or I mean clean this up, and then put another coating of oil on it that I've got. I'm going to put all this back together and see how it drives. All right, you guys, that is how you change the oil in one of these CF Motos. This one is a 2020 or 21?
I don't remember.
It's a 2020 or 2021, one or the other. It's the CForce 600 Touring. All the Touring means is that it's a 2-up, so it's got the back seat. So the 600, the only difference is it's just a little bit shorter wheelbase. That's it. Or actually, it's a shorter overall, but shorter wheelbase, shorter machine. But the oil change is the same on the 600 and the 600 Touring. It was super simple to do. It was well overdue. The air filter, like I said, looks pretty good, so I'm gonna leave that for now. And I realized that I haven't really given a review of the CF Moto, so I'm gonna go ahead and give just a quick review of what I think about it. All in all, I think it's a good machine. I think it's done well. The cool thing about the CF Moto brand in general, whether it's the Z-Force, which is their UTVs, C-Force, which is the four-wheelers. I think they've got a U-Force as well. I can't remember exactly, but I'll put a link for their website down in the description. The good thing about them is, for the price point, you get a lot of upgraded features that you don't get on like the Hondas, the Kawasaki's, the Polaris, and brands like that, more well-known brands. So I was looking at buying a Can-Am. I really like Can-Ams. I think they're great machines. Really, I think all of them are pretty good machines. Each one has its own thing. I grew up driving Hondas. I thought the Hondas were great. It just was a price point for me. So this size of machine, the 2-up model in the Can-Am, was a little more than double the price of this one. All said and done. And that did not come with a front winch. This one comes standard with the front winch. It did not come with a 2-inch receiver hitch. This one comes with standard with a 2-inch receiver hitch. This one has a lot of features that those other brands don't have. And so that's why I went with this one. All in all, I think it's a pretty good machine. So it comes standard with a 2-inch hitch. Another cool feature that I think is neat is it comes with this kind of a trunk area in the back, and it's supposed to be waterproof. I don't know if it is. It comes with really cool lighting. It's got backup lighting. That whole bar lights up. That's I really appreciate that. It's also got this really cool glove box here that I think is neat. Another cool thing that I like about this one, the CF, is it's got a lock on there. So when it's locked, you can't use the gear shift. So if you're up hunting and you park it, you can lock this gear shift so somebody can't pop it into neutral and push it up onto their trailers. Then it's also got it's got 2 USB ports that are waterproof when it's closed, and a 12-volt port, again waterproof when it's closed. And then I had mentioned before that it comes standard with a really nice winch. I believe it's 3,500 pound winch. Also, it is a fully digital display up there, and it's adjustable. It also came with handlebar guards. Let's talk about the bad, the things that I maybe don't necessarily like about it. The first one is glaring, that it's a Chinese-made machine. So far, I haven't really had any trouble with it. It's got the CV Tech automatic transmission. A lot of even those other name brands have that same transmission in them. And so there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good transmission. The other brands are using it too. I just think that it might be geared a little weird. I don't know. It just seems like the throttle's not there, you know. It'll get up and go fast. I've had this thing up at like 55 miles an hour. It'll go pretty quick. It just seems like you really have to wrap it up before it'll start going. Whereas I've noticed in some of the other brands that I've owned and ridden on mostly, you know, the throttle response is right there. It's just whenever you push that throttle, you've got power. So I don't know if it's a gearing issue, a torque issue. I know that there's conversions that you can get. Again, Main Street Cycle sells a clutch kit that you can get. So I'm sure that, you know, I could fix that if I really wanted to, but it's not something that I think is a big deal. So I deal with it and go there. Outside of that, it's been a really good machine for me. I have got 97.8 hours, almost 100 hours, and I don't have a lot of complaints with it. It's really been a good machine for me. And for the price point, I just couldn't beat it. So now, here's what I'll say. Another drawback, and this is nothing against the machine, is that it's not a side-by-side. In hindsight, I wish that I would have gotten a side-by-side. For what we're doing here, a side-by-side would be far better, and more practical and just more usable. But that's not the machine's fault. That was, you know, just, I guess, not thinking ahead, not planning ahead. I bought this for what I needed at the time. And I'm not saying that it doesn't do what I need it to do out here, but a side-by-side would just work a little bit better than this does. I know that there's people who say Honda's the best, Polaris is the best, Kawasaki's the best, Yamaha's the best, whatever. You know, we're all brand specific. It's the same thing with Ford, Dodge, and Chevy. You know, we all know Ford is the best, but other people are wrong and have different ideas. And, you know, I'm not trying to talk you into, or talk you out of your brand and talk you into this brand. And I'm sure that there's going to be issues, you know, with this brand and different things, you know. I'm just telling you from my perspective, I haven't had any trouble with it. It's done what I've asked it to do. Four-wheel drive's always worked when I've needed it, and I really haven't needed it all that much. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. It comes standard with a locking differential, which I thought was really a cool thing. So, again, that's not something that I've needed. I've never had it into a crazy situation where I've needed a locking differential, but it comes standard with it, whereas a lot of those other ones do not come standard with it. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend a CF Moto. For the price point, you can't beat it. Again, I almost forgot, it came with a better factory warranty. I want to say the standard warranty is 6 months on those other machines. This one was a full year. It's done everything that I've needed it to do. Can't complain. Should you buy one? Only you can make that choice. I'm not here to talk you into one. If you're in the market for a CF Moto, it's a good machine, and I would recommend it. You could talk to 100 different people and get 100 different opinions. I'm giving you my opinion on the choice that I made and whether I think it was a good choice. So it's a biased opinion. So again, I'm not trying to talk you into this brand. I'm just saying, if you're looking at the CF Moto and you're curious of whether you should buy it, from my perspective, it's been a great machine. I don't know how long these machines are supposed to last for, how many miles and hours you're supposed to get out of them. If I ever am in a position where I can buy another one, I probably won't get a four-wheeler. I'll probably get a side-by-side. And maybe I'll get a CF Moto. Like I said, I've really liked this one. So if you buy one, you're buying one because of the research that you've done, like I did. And there's my better half. Yeah. So if you buy one, it's because of the research that you've done and you feel like it's going to be a wise purchase. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Be blessed and be a blessing to your family, your friends, anyone you come into contact with. Bye-bye. Shut up!
I like us too.
All right, ready? Oh, is it going? Yeah. Oh. Oh, shoot. I thought that was already opened. I'm like, I'm not going to make a mess. For the first time ever, I'm going to do an oil change without making a mess. Because that's what we needed. My brain is drawing a blank. A blankety blanky blank blank.